Hello, my friends, and welcome to 5 for the Future for this week, the week of May 27th. Let's jump into the 5 topics that stood out to me recently as signals of change that could impact your small business. I'll summarize the stories and share why you should care. Here are our 5 topics for this week: inflation and the economy, college grads and jobs, AI and Google, chatbots and you, and gig workers and politics. Let's begin with our story number 1. Inflation and the economy. Are we in a recession right now? Is inflation still a problem? Well, how can there be so many different opinions on something that should be data-based? Here's the latest rundown from the news. Inflation is easing across the US and stocks are rising. Prices are starting to drop as Target, Walmart, and Aldi lower prices on some common items, and McDonald's and Wendy's roll out cheaper value menu items. But state by state, inflation varies. The Wall Street Journal noted that metro areas with more Republicans and independents had higher inflation in 2022. Apparently, expecting higher inflation can cause higher inflation. Growth also varies by state and by industry. Some states like Delaware, Wisconsin, New York, Mississippi, and Georgia are lagging behind. And according to Inc. magazine, we have a K-shaped economy where some regions and industries are growing while others are slowing. So what does this mean for you and your small business? Small businesses are facing death by 1,000 cuts as small increases in costs from cardboard to insurance to wages are affecting the bottom line. Over half of small businesses raised prices in 2023 and plan to do so again this year. If it feels like a recession in your industry, then trust your gut and plan accordingly, no matter what the experts say. If things are going well, seize the opportunity and also ignore those experts. So what might the future look like? Some economists believe our diverse, modern, advanced economy will avoid significant recessions, just experiencing minor ups and downs. This all aligns with the K-shaped economy concept. Tough times in one industry, but maybe boom times in another. In this future, stay alert to industry changes and consider alternative suppliers or customer types if you sense a downturn. And maybe your AI chatbot can help you read the signs and plan for success in any market, up or down. All right, moving on to story number 2, college grads and jobs. Let's take a moment to pity the poor college graduates of the class of 2024. Not only did they graduate high school and begin college during a global pandemic, but now they face geopolitical unrest showing up on campuses, and they have to compete with AI for entry-level jobs. College grads are struggling to find jobs, especially in high-paying fields like finance and computer science. Big companies are ditching entry-level positions and turning to AI instead. And they expect college grads to have several years of experience for entry-level roles, plus starting salaries are lower compared to when millennials graduated. Some students who had job offers lined up are finding them rescinded by the time they graduate. This has many wondering if college and all that debt is actually worth it. A Pew Research survey showed that less than a quarter of U.S. adults think the cost is worth it if loans are needed. About half think college is worth it if you can graduate debt-free. However, the data still shows that those with degrees earn significantly more than those without over their lifetime. So what does this all mean for you and your small business? In the short term, get familiar with Handshake, the app that connects college students with jobs. This could be a great opportunity for you to hire if the big companies aren't. Bring on some impressive students, including from your local community college. You might find that their entrepreneurial mindset, technology skills, and eagerness to learn will be an asset for your business. So what might the future look like? College students are increasingly interested in entrepreneurial ventures, and MBA students are more likely than ever to buy a small business rather than seek a job at a giant consulting firm. So if you're looking to grow or to sell your business, then this is a good sign for your future. And with that, let's move on to our story number 3, AI and Google. Have you noticed the change to your Google search recently? Google is now offering AI-driven answers right at the top of your search results. Google is thrilled with their new AI search. Others, not so much. Sure, Google's Gemini can handle multi-step reasoning and help you troubleshoot things like fixing your broken record player. But where is it finding these answers? AI can't always tell which answers are real and which are jokes, which is why Gemini suggested using glue to keep the cheese from slipping off your pizza. Apple is also planning to release an AI-based version of Siri that will be more conversational and versatile, but it won't be like the Scarlett Johansson character from Her, because that's OpenAI's domain. So what does this all mean for you and your small business? In my opinion, this change isn't great for small businesses relying on online visibility. If you spend time building up your website, there's a risk your traffic will drop. And even if you can magically create AI-worthy answers to people's questions, will they visit your site to learn more or just take Google's AI answer right at face value? What might the future look like? The future is uncertain. Will Google continue to dominate the search engine world? Will TikTok and Instagram and YouTube continue to take over as well? Or will everything blow up and reset? That depends on a variety of factors, including ad income, government regulations, antitrust laws, and public opinion, not to mention copyright law. Your future should focus on connecting with customers in ways perhaps less dependent on Google searches. Aim for authenticity, unique content, and personal connections. All right, moving on to story number 4, chatbots and you. So AI with a Google search engine might not help small businesses get found online, but there still could be some value in AI. So let's talk about chatbots and the opportunity there. First, if your business is in China, you're going to be limited by the Xi Jinping thought, which poses challenges for chatbot design in that country that have to meet those regulations. But here in the US, chatbots are growing and improving, offering new customer service opportunities for small businesses. That's a pro, but the con is that these chatbots are learning to sound human, which can be a bit creepy. Do we want chatbots to sound like Scarlett Johansson and flirt with us? Do we want them to laugh at our jokes and express fake emotions? Do we want to be manipulated into decisions by these emotion-mimicking chatbots, or to manipulate our customers the same way? AI is starting to figure out sarcasm, but it's still learning, and our sarcastic remarks might still be taken literally. See gluing cheese on pizza from story number 3. So what does this mean for you and your small business? On the positive side, chatbots can help you engage with customers without additional staff. But how do you handle miscommunication or emotions gone rogue? Proceed with caution. So what might the future look like? Are there enough Friends and Big Bang Theory episodes to fully train AI on sarcasm? Ha, that was a trick question. I was being sarcastic when I asked it. When will AI learn what's real and what isn't? And will we think that's a good thing? Imagine a future when we really and truly can't tell the difference between a human and AI. How do we know who we're working with? I'm all for using technology to help small business, but we need to be transparent about our communication. All right, let's move on to our final story, story number 5, gig workers and politics. Stories about Uber and Lyft from 2 different states were in the news recently. Starting with next door to my home state of Wisconsin, over in Minnesota, a compromise was reached to set a minimum hourly rate for the ride-hailing drivers, ensuring Uber and Lyft will stay in Minneapolis while the state works to ensure fair wages. Massachusetts is also pushing for fair pay for rideshare drivers, raising questions about whether Uber and Lyft are transportation companies or technology companies, and if drivers are employees or just app users. So what does this mean for you and your small business? Well, first, if your small business hires independent contractors like Uber and Lyft do, you might face more government scrutiny for misclassifying them as 1099 contractors instead of employees, so be careful there. And second, the gig economy offers opportunities for small businesses to bring on help for marketing, sales, and operations without the cost of full-time employees, if, again, they fit the bill. If big companies can do it, why not small ones too? Just as I've said before, exercise caution with that employee versus 1099. So what might the future look like? The gig economy has its pros and cons. Small businesses could stay lean in terms of full-time employees while growing through that flexible workforce. You could outsource everything except your core competencies, increasing revenue without increasing staff. Could this be good for your small business? Yes. Is this good for the economy and individuals over the long term? Probably not. Will we see more people working as gig workers, enjoying some flexibility in hours but sacrificing benefits like health insurance, guaranteed income, and retirement savings? Yes. Will this all come to a head at some point when no one can afford healthcare or to retire? Also, yes. All right, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. I hope these 5 topics and my take on them get you thinking about how these signals of change could ultimately impact your small business. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks.